Hello everyone, welcome to Mastermind. In this video, let us discuss about another reading comprehension RC, which is part 8th. So this is the 8th part which we are discussing, 7 parts which we have already discussed. So the same procedure which we were following previously, we will look at the questions initially. First one, which of the following statements is true? The neem fruit, flowers and leaves are bitter. The neem leaves are bitter, fruits and flowers are not. Neem fruits are bitter, leaves and flowers are not. Neem fruits and leaves are bitter, flowers are not. So we have to concentrate on which of these is bitter while we are reading the paragraph. Second one, neem flowers are fragrant and are yellow in color, white in color and are bitter, very big and have characteristic resinous aroma. Okay, so resinous, if you are looking at the meaning of resinous, so it means something, a sticky flammable organic substance. So it is insoluble in water, so it is a sticky substance. So it is very big and have a characteristic resinous aroma. It is white and are fragrant with a resinous aroma. Next one, so we have to read in detail properly about the flowers, fruits and leaves, because they have mentioned about the flowers also here, they have mentioned about the flowers, fruits and leaves also over here. Next one, Indian New Year's comes during the middle of summer, at the beginning of the summer, at the end of summer, anytime during the summer. Next one, neem trees are often cut down, usually cut down, necessarily cut down during midsummer, are rarely cut down. Next one, even today, people in the countryside are aware of many good properties and uses of neem. So it is of neem. Next one, they are not aware of many good properties and uses of neem. C, often cut down neem trees. And D, avoid planting neem trees close to where they live. So we understood that we have to read the comprehension itself in order to understand what exactly they are trying to tell over here. But we understood that there are some details related to this particular paragraph which we have to definitely concentrate on. For example, neem trees, and then when does the new year comes, and then what is neem flowers and flower, fruit and leaves. So we'll see how is the paragraph like. Let us read the paragraph. Even today, people in the countryside are alive to neem's versatile virtues. Okay, so are alive to neem's versatile virtues. So even today itself, we had seen in the last question, people in the countryside, they are alive to the neem's versatile virtues. Versatile, that means many, so it has many characteristics, so it is speaking about something good only was here, or correct. So versatile virtues, it is seldom cut down, that is seldom means rarely, it is rarely cut down and is still planted in and around a human settlement. So if we are looking at the last question, even today people in the countryside, they often cut down neem trees is wrong, they avoid planting also is wrong, so they are aware of the good properties, that is correct, because if they are not aware of the good properties, why would they do the plantations there, correct. So here in the first line itself, we have got the answer for the fifth question, which is people in the countryside are aware of many good properties and uses of neem. Next one, okay, so it is seldom cut down, it is rarely cut down, and it is still planted in and around human settlements. The plantation also takes place even now because it is useful. Tradition decrees that when the Indian New Year comes round about midsummer. When does the Indian New Year come? It comes about midsummer. Let us look at the question now. As soon as we saw the keyword, let's go to the question. So third question, Indian New Year comes. When does it come? In the middle of the summer, correct. They have mentioned about midsummer, round about midsummer in the April, during the middle of the summer. So third one, the answer is A. So third one, the answer is A, because they themselves have mentioned that it comes in the midsummer, middle of the summer. They have also given it as beginning of the summer, end of the summer, anytime during the summer, but they have exclusively mentioned it as midsummer, middle of the summer, that is in April. So what happens when the Indian New Year comes around middle summer? neem bursts into prodigal fragrant white blossom. White blossom. So the neem flowers, they are mentioning about neem flowers over here. So let us mark that. So the neem bursts into prodigal. So 1 second. So neem bursts into prodigal, then fragrant white blossom. Its tiny flowers mixed with jaggery should be cooked into a special side dish, which in Karnataka you call it as Bevu Bella, right? So it is mixed with the Bevu Bella. Bevu is a neem and Bella is jaggery, correct? So they are mentioning about the new year only. So that is near Yugadi for us. So its tiny flowers mixed with jaggery should be cooked into a special side dish, both as a tonic relish to mark the commencement of the fresh year and to remind people that life is life is an admixture of sweet and bitter experience. Jaggery is sweet and the flowers are bitter, correct? That is why we mix the tiny flowers. That is why we call it as Bevu Bella, right? So Bevu has to be bitter only. Bevu has to be bitter only. The latter sentiment seems largely imaginative, for neem flowers are not bitter. So they are telling that the latter, that is the bitter experiences, itself is imaginary in nature. They are telling that bitter, what we tell the tiny flowers as bitter, it is imaginary in experience because neem flowers are not bitter. See, they have asked about the neem flowers also for us in the question. So they are telling neem flowers are not bitter, though the leaves and fruits are. So we got the answer over here. So what we get the answer as leaves and fruits are bitter. Flowers are not. Flowers not bitter. We will see the statement which goes along with this thing. So here if we read the first question, the neem fruits, flowers, leaves are bitter. No, they are telling only leaves and fruits are bitter. So neem leaves are bitter, the fruits and flowers are not. No. The fruits are bitter. The fruits are bitter. The leaves and flowers are not. No. The neem fruits and leaves are bitter. See, fruits and leaves are bitter. The flowers are not. So for the first one, the answer is D. The first one, the answer is D. So what did we get now? We got the first one, third one, and fifth one. Next, they have a characteristic resinous aroma and are mildly astringent. So characteristic resinous aroma. Okay, they have a characteristic resinous aroma. So for two, the keywords, the neem flowers, they have a characteristic resinous aroma. So the answer is C for us, because they have not mentioned about yellow for us. They have mentioned about white, but they are telling it is not bitter. Correct? They are not bitter. So it goes. So they are very big. They have not mentioned as such, but they have clearly mentioned that characteristic resinous aroma. They are white and are fragrant with a resinous aroma. They have not mentioned it something like this. So here it looks like characteristic resinous aroma. So we got the answer, which is for the first one, the answer was D. And the neem flowers are very big and have a characteristic resinous aroma. Okay, so fragrant with a resinous aroma. They are white and are fragrant with resinous aroma. It looks like D as well, but they have also mentioned this same thing in the paragraph, right? So in the key answers also they had given C only as the answer, because maybe they might have thought it as characteristic resinous aroma. The exact words are also mentioned, so this would be the answer. Next, the third one, we got it as midsummer. Neem trees, they are often cut down. No, here we have seen that they are seldom cut down, that is they are rarely cut down. So they want to know if you know the meaning of seldom. So the answer here is D. They are rarely cut down, and even today people are aware of many good properties and the uses of neem. So we have understood about this. So by reading the questions first and answering the comprehension and answering the passage later is very helpful, because once we read it we'll understand the keywords, and depending upon the keywords we can answer the questions right away as we are reading the paragraph. And also mentally it acts really better, because let's say if you have started reading about the reading the passage before only, you don't know what the questions are. So when that thing comes, when you read the question, you go back to the paragraph in order to verify it. But if you read the questions first, you know what is the question. When you are reading the passage, you can just go back to the question and verify it again, right then and there, so that you don't have to read it again and again. Okay, so even if you read it only once or maximum second time, because here the answer, to answer the question, the probability is the key for us. That is, we have to be making sure that we are answering the most probable option, because again it would be subjective also at times, because the inferences, if they are close at that point of time, we might get confused as well. But if we are practicing enough times, then we'll get to know what exactly they are concentrating on. So because this has been previously asked, so that is why I had taken this paragraph also. So I hope you have understood about this. In the next part, we'll discuss another comprehension. Thank you. I'll see you soon in the next one. Why I'm telling that they are subjective, I'll tell it again, because see, when we were looking at characteristic resonance aroma, so the most probable answer for us in the examination also would be white and are fragrant with resonance aroma. But in the options they had given it as C. In the key answers they had given it as C. So we get to we tend to feel that okay, they might have concentrated on the uh, words, exact words which has been mentioned over here, rather than what it implies to us. Okay, so because of that only they have asked directly that neem flowers are, directly they have asked it as neem flowers are. So thank you. Let's meet up in the next part, which is 9 part.